Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is going to do Toriko Chapter 194 review. This chapter of Toriko, people. This chapter of Toriko, I like it. I love this chapter of Toriko. Why? It's two words. 4 beasts. These guys are insane. Okay? Especially the first one. The first one, I was like, what the fuck is that? Mount Turtle. I was like, yo, what is that? Like, seriously, Mount Turtle is in the category of don't fuck with ever creature. And it's insane. It's insane to even consider the possibility that these guys were driven out. Because, no. That means that if these fuckers were driven out, imagine the fuckers that actually drove them out. Some crazy OP, like, I don't know what, oh my god. I can't wait for the gourmet world. Creatures that are powerful enough to drive these fuckers into the human world. That's crazy. That is crazy shit. However, what I will say is that even though I really love this chapter of Toriko, this chapter, when it comes to structure, and when it comes to overall, like when it comes to the actual foundation of this chapter, it's a good chapter. And the reason why it's not a very good or amazing chapter is because this chapter in of itself is very short. I believe Toriko chapters average on 18, 19, 20 pages. But this chapter was only 13 pages. 13 pages. So it was kind of like, you know, they could have done a lot more. Like, had this chapter had continued on with the gathering of the 4 heavenly kings to create a plan to fight the 4 beasts, then this would have been a very good chapter at least. But unfortunately, because it was so short, this chapter gets a good. Not a very good, but a good. But still, I love it. I love it. I love it. Mount Turtle, people. Mount fucking Turtle. This guy, yo. I know Zebra's fighting him. I know Zebra is fighting Mount Turtle. He has to. He has to. Alright. Now, that being said, alright? Let's dive right into this actual chapter, alright? Now, this chapter starts off, and we see Toriko. Toriko is in Gourmet Town, which I believe was one of the first towns we see in the entire series. And Toriko is in Gourmet Town, and the entire town is empty. It is completely vacated, gone, not a soul in sight. And apparently, with the approach of the Gourmet solar eclipse, these ancient creatures have awakened from their slumber, and they are now approaching the human world. And this was announced throughout the entire world. Throughout the entire human world, it was announced that gourmet creatures were coming into the human world. And it was crazy, because right here it says that apparently the outside countries completely evacuated. A total, at least, of 30... right here. There was a great... Right here. Oh my god, people, this is insane, this is insane. There was, in fact, a great migration of over 30 billion people of the human world. 30 billion people in the smallest section of their world. Not even the entire human world, but just the outside countries alone. 30 billion people migrated. How large is this world? Seriously, how big is this planet? If in the smallest section of the world, and only the outside portions of that world can fit 30 billion people easy, with so much room to spare. Yo, this shit must be the size of Jupiter at least. I'm surprised that this planet isn't a gas giant. Honest to God. Like that's insane. That's a very, very big rocky planet. I'm just saying. That's a big ass rocky planet. But you know, whatever. So these 30 billion people in the outside country, or in the outside countries of the human world, are now migrating into the central human world. And what's happening here is that the reason is why. And they give you an explanation as to why these 4 beasts are migrating into the human world. And it says right here, generally speaking, creatures of the gourmet world are not interested in bad tasting food. I'm assuming they're meaning human flesh, okay? Which means that there are some, which means there would, they mean they. It says there, but it means they. They would not come into the human world by choice, okay? Meaning that because humans generally, apparently humans generally taste bad. So because humans taste bad, gourmet creatures do not want to go into the human world. It's that simple. Now, it says here, at best, the ones that come are creatures being chased out of the gourmet world. That was a stroke of unbelievable luck for the human world. Meaning that the creatures that normally get chased into the human world are scrubs. They're scrubs, they're not that powerful. However, it says right here, it's crazy shit. I was like, what the fuck? It says right here, the good luck was not perfect. There is one piece of bad luck for the human world, in that there was one fiendish wild beast that isn't a small fry that was chased out. And I was like, no, fuck out of here. And then it says right here, with an unbalanced diet, it had a liking for the taste of humans and no longer ate anything but humans. Now, once every few hundred years, it awakens as if it were something makes no sense, yada yada yada, and the story's handed down as the demon coming for its meal, and that's it, right? Now, the thing here is that what's really important that you have to notice is that these creatures are not scrubs. Apparently, they're not scrubs in the gourmet world, but they still got chased out. And once the eclipse comes, every so 100 of years, these creatures awaken. Now, the thing about it is that this chapter at the beginning made it seem as if there's like 4 beasts, but apparently there's 4 beasts. So I'm assuming, or we can make the deduction, that the 4 beasts is a category within the gourmet world, or it's a category of gourmet world creature. And that right there is the explanation as to why these epic creatures are going into the human world. Now, what happens here is that we get a little scene of, well, not a little scene, because there's 800 million people in like this one plaza, which is a big ass plaza. If they can fit 800 million people, but whatever, 800 million people are in this plaza, and then there's a big ass screen of Mansum, and Mansum is apparently saying that we have had enough. Well, we saw this day coming, we knew it was coming, and we have prepared. There's going to be meals and food for everybody, and we see piles upon piles of giant ass crates and boxes of food. And then he's saying that there are four beasts, and these beasts will be taken care of. And people are assuming that it's going to be the president, President Ichirayu. However, well, because apparently Ichirayu was alive like the last time these 4 beasts came. So how old is he exactly? I'm not too sure. He's fairly old, if he was there at least a few hundred years ago. So apparently Ichirayu, a few hundred years ago, took care of the 4 beasts back then. However, now the 4 beasts are going to be taken care of by the 4 heavenly kings. Okay? And then here comes the laydown of the creatures that are now moving towards the human world. We see them moving from the gourmet world to the human world. The first one, which in my opinion was the most epic one of all, Mount Turtle. I was like, bro, what the fuck is that? People, for a few seconds, go find the Toriko chapter and take a look at Mount Turtle. This motherfucker right here. Dude, despite the fact that this guy has a volcano on his back, he has a volcano on his back. He's a turtle with, for some reason, has an eyeball lodged in his throat. Big ass eyeball. Or it appears to be an eyeball. I'm not too sure. Maybe that's his gullet. I'm not too sure. But whatever, right? Then he has these epically sharp razor teeth, okay? And then he has a beak to top it off. And his skin appears to be made of magma. Magma! For no reason. I'm like, what? And we see how large he is. Because there's like a smaller crag slash mountain. It's not a mountain, but we see underneath him. And like there's like a forest. And then there's like a small mountain. Or like a small crag. And then we see Mount Turtle. And it's like, no, it's not even funny. Alright? So Mount Turtle, I'm saying right now, Zebra is fighting Mount Turtle. I want him to be Toriko. Because Toriko fighting this thing will be epic. But it's gonna be Zebra. It's gonna be Zebra. I don't see Coco or Sunny taking on Mount Turtle. It's Zebra. It has to be Zebra, alright? Now, the next of the 4 beasts is this creature called the Invade Death. And this creature, it looks very strange. It's kind of like a horse, but it has like vines for legs. But then like the 2 back legs, the 2 hind legs look like fins. And then its hind leg muscles are really, really muscular. Like its hind legs are really, really muscular. Like not even funny. Like no homo, but it has a really muscular ass. Like no homo. I'm not gay. I'm just saying. He has a really muscular ass. So I'm not too sure. But yeah. And then it has whiskers. So I'm not too sure what the Invade Death is all about. But I can see, actually no. Yeah, this is going to be Coco. Coco is going to be Invade Death, alright? And then here comes the next 2. Gaol, the Fan King. Toriko's taking on the Fan King, alright? Gaol, the Fan King, looks like a really big-ass lion. But the head is kind of like a monkey-esque head. It's kind of like, yeah, it's like a really weird monkey-esque head. And then there is the ugliest of the 4 beasts, King Octopus Kong. And clearly, Sunny is gonna fight King Octopus Kong. Why? Because Sunny is all about beauty, and this fucker is ugly as piss shit. So clearly, yeah, it's obvious. It's fucking obvious, alright? And King Octopus Kong it's like, what the hell? It has a monkey body, like a giant ape-like body. And then it has the head of an octopus with, like, I believe that's like 5 eyeballs and like a fin going down its spine with really sharp teeth. So, and tusks too. I have no idea why it has tusks, but it's really, I don't know. I mean, it's Toriko, alright? It's Toriko, alright? And then at the end of the chapter, we see a scene of Rin and Komatsu. They're riding on Terry, and they're going to Gourmet Town to meet with Toriko and the rest of the 4 Emily Kings. And apparently, Komatsu has spent a week in the disappearance cuisine with Chiru, learning how to prepare the bubbly fruit, and he has mastered the bubbly fruit, so that's good. And then Rin's going there because she has this device called the measuring tongs, which can measure capture levels up to over 100. Over 100. So anything over 100, they can measure with these measuring tongs, and that's it. And that's in the chapter right there. Now the main focus of this chapter is, of course, the 4 beasts themselves, okay? Mount Turtle, Invade Death, King Octopus Kong, you know, Gaol. So these guys, and the thing about the 4 beasts that you have to remember is that these creatures were driven out of the gourmet world. Meaning that at some point, they didn't cut it. At some point, they themselves did not cut it when it came to the gourmet world. That's crazy shit. That's crazy shit. So they were forced to feed on humans in order to survive, and they themselves adjusted to human diet. Now, here is some crazy shit, alright? If in fact, well actually no. I'll say it for another time. Yeah, let me say it for another time, because right now, it's not that important. It's not that important. So, what I will say is that please remember that even after, when they're beaten, when these 4 beasts are beaten, remember that before the eclipse, there's still something else, and that's that gathering of cooks, and the Bushuki Yukai may invade that gathering of cooks, and we may see that Guru, who is a member of the IGO, like their top elite guys, we may see this Guru guy, or the Hermit guy, we may see him betray the president and the other IGO members, and Because I think he's a spy. I really do think that this guy was feeding the Bushido-kai information on the down low. I really believe that. But honest to God, this chapter, I love it a lot. I really do. But again, because it was so short, only 13 pages, I gotta give it a good. Not a very good, not an amazing, a good. Now tell me what you guys think about which Heavenly King you think is gonna fight which of the 4 beasts. I'm gonna say, and this is what I think. I'm gonna say that Zebra is gonna fight Mount Turtle, that Coco is gonna fight Invade Death, Toriko is gonna fight Gao, and we're gonna see Sunny take on King Octopus Kong. And the reason why I'm saying that Toriko is gonna fight Gao is because Gao, he reminds me of Terry, and that's the only reason why. So that being said, this is the King of Lightning. Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe. Peace. Have a nice day.